and alcohol consumption. So as many of you know, social norms have a heavy influence on college students and their alcohol consumption. Many college students may view the negative consequences as inevitable consequences of drinking rather than social or something to all right, so what's up, everybody? I'm Corbin, and I'm going to build on what Jaden said. I'm going to discuss college students, social norms. So what's up, everybody? I'm Corbin, and I'm going to build on what Jaden said. I'm going to discuss college students, social norms, and alcohol consumption. So as many of you know, social norms have a heavy influence on college students and their alcohol consumption. Many college students may view the negative consequences as inevitable consequences of drinking rather than social or something to be avoided. I find this interesting because if we know there's negative consequences, then why do we still drink? For most college students, drinking does seem inevitable. Whatever university you go to, you will find college students drinking. Even here at Bluffton, sorry, but we all know it's true. So with that being said, who does the most drinking? U.S. studies have consistently found that more than a third of first-year students do not drink alcohol at all, or only drink moderately. This is most likely due to the fact that in order for students to obtain alcohol, they either need a fake ID or somebody to buy it for them. Fake IDs are expensive and don't always work, and people don't typically like the risk of buying alcohol for underage people as well. A study done by the National Institute on Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism watched how first-year students drank for the first 2 years of college and then had follow-ups after. Participants included 624 students who consumed at least 4 or more drinks for women and 5 or more drinks for men per occasion on at least one occasion during the last month of their screening. Students were assessed every 6 months to 2 years with present analysis coming from 12 to 18-month follow-ups. Of the original 818 in the study, 697 completed the 12-month period, 679 completed the 18 months, and then the 624 completed both follow-ups. So that's your standard pool for this. Demographics of these 624 students included 60% women, 65% white or Caucasian, 23% Asian, and 12% were classified as others. The mean age for the 12-month survey point was 19 years old, and 72% classified themselves as being in their second year of college. So the left side of the screen is going to show like the scale for what's going on, and then I'm going to discuss like some major things from like the picture on the right. So the results of the study showed that hangovers the next day and throwing up after drinking were the most frequently reported negative consequences, while getting into fights and damaging property were relatively rare social consequences. Students' own personal evaluations of each other, or of the consequences, were fairly negative. Drinking and driving and getting into unwanted sexual situations were rated most negative. Having a headache and not remembering part of the prior evening was also evaluated as slightly less negative. So with perceived alcohol norms between classes study was another study that I found. Kind of discussed how 512 college students from one medium-sized U.S. university signed up to complete an online study of drinking behavior and perceptions for course credit. Participants were given the option to recruit 1 or 2 college-age peers for additional credit to create a larger subject pool with wider demographics. All the participants were assigned a random identification number, just keep their information private. And the online survey began with demographic information, followed by 2 self-report questions regarding the typical number of drinks per day, per week, and then the typical amount that they drank when they're drinking during these periods. So the participants were included both freshmen, sophomores, juniors, and seniors at a university. And a typical question was like, how many drinks per week do you think a typical freshman in your university drinks alcohol? Or like on average, how many drinks do you think a typical freshman at your university drinks during a drinking occasion? So This graph shows how the actual perceived norms of freshmen were for drinking, sophomores, juniors, and seniors. And one interesting takeaway was that these results suggest that students in specific class years may also be influenced to drink by their perceptions of other peers and classes other than their own, and also shows that college students care how other people view them. So in building on that, there's this next chart. And these results suggest that students in specific class years may also be influenced to drink alcohol based on their perception of peers in their own class, and by classes other than their own. Regardless of their own class year, students may be impacted by the drinking of other class year students, but further research is needed to continue exploring the impact of class year specific perceived norms on behavior. So in conclusion, we just want to say, where's the honor in alcohol?